Gonzo Radio.
And they say it would never happen, and you're a liar. Welcome to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. I'm Big Daddy Gonzo. Welcome to the inaugural episode. I know there have been other episodes, but we're going to be doing this a little more on the regular, if you will. I mean, I went to the trouble of putting together graphics like this, and yes, that's pronounced Hostimus Maximus. And seated across from me, matriculating from your left to your right, from east to west. Do you matriculate east to west? That's Matty, and his name is about 5 feet long. His last name is about 5 feet long. So we're only going to call him Matt Damaz. Say hi to the nice people, Matt.
Hello, nice people, Matt.
Now, if you take a good long look at Matt, he's going to put his readers on. Put your readers on. Don't try to act like you're not a nerd.
I got him.
If I got to wear fucking readers, you got to wear fucking readers.
I got him.
And yes, this is going to be one of those strange sports talk shows where there's going to be occasional spicy language and an occasional NSFW, not safe for work content. So you might want to. And hey, I'm not the Maz. What the hell? That's what happens when I have to run the board. That'll be changing soon because and you can't see him, but he's just off to the camera right over here. We have a new producer for the Gonzo Radio Network, and he will be running the 8 o'clock show, which, by the way, the Gonzo Radio Network is expanding. Watch, it's going to be a lot of fun. But I have a producer. His name is Bo. And right now he is watching me make a complete ass of myself trying to run my own sports show. So we do have a lot to get to, Maz. We really do, because we have one major subject, one huge, humongous subject, and that, of course, is the ubiquitous, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, who loves the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, everybody loves the Super Bowl. Otherwise, there wouldn't be billions of people watching it. But
yeah, who loves the Patriots, though, win the Super Bowl?
Well, now you're starting to get a little personal.
Yeah.
I mean... Well, give us a little breakdown, or give the nice people a little breakdown. Me, I already have my biases, but go ahead and give us your spin on it.
My take.
Yes, because I mean we have our two contestants. We have the Rams from Los Angeles, who managed to get there on a missed call. Okay. And we have the New England Patriots making their 9th appearance in 18 years. They've been in half the Super Bowls, half the goddamn Super Bowls.
Okay, quick facts, because as you guys are going to learn, this is what I'm about. Facts, stats, and facts. Do you know?
Take notes, fuckers.
The Patriots, in their last 7 Super Bowls combined, first quarter scores total 3 points.
Wait, I know.
Sorry. Question was, how many points have the Patriots scored in their first quarter over the last 7 games?
I know.
Go ahead.
3.
3, exactly 3. 3 points.
What'd I win? Gonzo Radio t-shirt?
You won an edge is what you won. This is what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you an edge. My edge here is, guys, please, Rams. I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough, but the Rams, more numbers. The Rams this year, if you look at the Patriots and what their strengths are, Gonzo, what do you think some of their strengths are? What do they do every single year to teams? What do they try and do take away on defense? They take away your best.
Well, they take away your best weapon, your best option. I mean, anybody who knows football or knows NFL football knows that the one thing that the Patriots do is they take away your best option.
Exactly.
But there's a slight problem with that.
Yeah, because there are a lot of options on the Rams. Go back to the
Yeah,
Chiefs
like this
games.
guy, like Mr. Gurley.
Yeah, like him, like this guy. All of a sudden, C.J. Anderson. There's a few other players you may have heard of.
CJ Cheeseburger Anderson.
Yeah, out of nowhere, he's puffy and stuffy, but he's doing a heck of a job for the Rams right now.
But he spent that couple of months away when he was just contract riding the pine for the Raiders,
He did.
going to In-N-Out Burger.
He was well fed for sure.
He was definitely doing a great job with that. But
Here's some more stats. Going back to the Patriots' approach on how they like to take away your best weapon. Well, the Rams, outside of Kupp's injury, middle of the season, have got 6 guys that have got 50 or more targets. So
6.
Yeah, they can come at you in a few different ways. So if they're not going to run the ball, they're going to throw the ball. If the Patriots sell out for throwing the ball, they're going to be able to run the ball. My take on the game. Now, tell me if you think this makes sense. Mm-hmm. Strictly on game script. I can see, obviously, if you look at the strength of the Rams in their pass rush, what happens if the Rams get out to a slight lead in this game? They're going to feed into the Rams, feed into the pass rush, feed into the defense.
And then you're talking about a defense that has suddenly flipped the switch here, probably the last 3 regular season games, and in the playoffs, my boy Ndamukong Suh. That's right, I still like Ndamukong Suh. I've got the jersey. I spent the money. I like the dude. He's a pretty all right cat. He is a great player. And what has he done? He's flipped the switch. And now next to that maniac Aaron Donald, which, by the way, he had 20 and a half sacks from the defensive tackle position.
Pretty incredible.
That's insane.
Yeah. See, here's, again, more stats.
So that's a monster defense coming at you.
A lot of people look at the Super Bowls as blowouts and such, but the Patriots, in all of their Super Bowls, it's been only one score that separated the final score. Just one score. Field goal, touchdown, that's it. One score. The game's going to be close. But
hate them as much as you want. At least they make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, for me, again, game script, you can paint out lots of scenarios, but I really do believe that the Rams have the slight edge because they've got some balance on offense. And that balance, I think, is going to give them the edge in this football game. I really do.
Well, I kind of agree. Because what you're seeing is you're seeing a team that right now, we all know about the Patriots. Patriots are system and execution. System and execution. Now, of course, Brady is the thing that makes them exceptional because of his ability to read defenses, his ability to change out of plays, his poise, his leadership, whatever. I don't kiss Brady's ass like all these guys on ESPN do. Oy vey.
Yeah,
it's just like that's a Tom Brady fan club there.
There's some haters out there too, and to be fair, I mean the guy clearly is one of the best quarterbacks of our generation. So not to take anything away from that woman that plays football, but no, in all seriousness, there's a reason why they're there every year. I mean,
he's sitting down.
Yeah, they're well coached, obviously scheme. I mean, all the way through. I mean, they're one of the best well-run sports organizations in all of football. But that aside, again, it does come down to playing for those 60 minutes on Sunday, and it comes down to matchups and coaching. And I think the Rams have a very good shot at winning this football game. And if my money was going to be placed on the game, we're going Rams.
2.5 points right now. The Patriots are 2.5 point favorites.
I believe so. Quick story. When the lines first opened, we were anxious. This was 2 hours after the games had ended last weekend. The line, the first site we saw was even. So a lot of early money on the Patriots. And
seems like it jumped like 1.5 like that.
Seems like that's going to be the direction. And I had an Uncle Louie one time told me, he says, don't follow the public. He said, if the line goes in a certain direction, you're going where? The other way.
Go against them because the public knows ungat.
Go the other way, exactly. So, again, hunch, whatever you want to call it. My strong opinion in this game is go against the Patriots. Go against the establishment. Take the Rams.
So you want the Rams plus 2.5?
Can you buy a half a point?
Sure, why not? I mean, I think the over-under is 56 too.
Yeah, I think it is too. But again, a lot of these games, the totals, going back to that stat we talked about, how the Patriots don't necessarily get off to a hot start. Don't expect it to be any different in this game. I see the
quarterly bets. Quarterly bets will be really good.
Prop bets are interesting too, if that's your thing. Eventually, at some point, I think we'd like to get into a little bit more of that.
I want to meet the person who, for the last 7 games, has shit on the Patriots in the first quarter and raked in money. That's a smart person, whoever that is.
It is.
And you ladies out there, I'm not discounting you because I know a lot of ladies who are very, very good at these analytics, at prognosticating these things, and they don't just stick with their favorite team, and they don't just like, he's got a nice butt and I like him because they're blue. No, you do it you're actually an analyst and you do a really, really good job of it. That's the reason why I'm saying person. I'm being politically correct on my own damn show.
Yeah, we accept all genders. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. We definitely accept all genders. I mean, there is nothing hotter than a woman who knows football. They're really, honestly, well, okay, maybe if they smoke cigars and they know about football and scotch. And wow, this is getting real manly in here. Maybe I should start like shaving right here on air. But okay, so we're going to take we're going to take the Rams and the 2.5, and we're going to run with it.
That would be my 100% suggestion. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, before we jump to the break, I have a really quick question. If the Patriots win the Super Bowl, does Tom Brady retire?
No. I think he actually came out today and said that in no way, shape, or form, regardless of the outcome of the game, is he going to retire.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah. But, hey, he's making how much a year? I think $22 million a year, a lot of money.
It doesn't even matter, the money that he's making right now, because he's been making more than $20 million a year for probably about 10 years with them.
Plus the endorsements and such.
Right. It's really not about the money. I mean, what is he going to do? Going to put a second moat around his house?
Guys like this, though, these 1%ers, what are they going to do? Where are they going to go? I mean, it's not like I think outside of where he's from, he has a huge following. So, yeah, TV, he's got the face for it, but does he have the following?
Yeah, this is so true. Okay, well, that was some very in-depth and anal analysis.
Sure, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that. I get hung up on the anal part real quick. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with a very interesting subject. Well, actually, it's going to be a couple subjects, but it's going to be a very interesting subject, and it's daily fantasy sports. And Damaz is going to show you how to be much better at it, especially if you suck like I do. So we'll be right back after this.
My mom's white. My dad's an asshole. Actually, my dad is Mexican. Thank you. The one girl that should have clapped was two ladies. I'm half Mexican. I grew up here in South Florida. Naturally, my favorite sports? Ice hockey, yes. That is the power of Disney movies. The Mighty Ducks can turn brown into white. Quack, quack. Not gonna do it on time. This side is way too confusing. I was pretty good at hockey because I had a strong, wet back. And most Spanish guys like to talk. You get it? God damn, that joke is stupid. 13 years old, I represented the Florida Panthers at the World Championships. Free equipment, missed the weakest goal, lost every game. And when you lose in front of that many people, you start to feel like the Marlins. You have to actually go to Marlins games to make that joke. To make that joke work. You ever play ice hockey at Ecstasy? Just me? I did it my junior year. Shut up! I did it my junior year. I had a good game, man. I scored 2 goals. Got 2 minutes for hugging. Didn't even know it was a penalty.
Gonzo Radio.
And we're back here at the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk, the Gonzo Radio Network in full effect as we speak right now. Also, I wanted to throw a little promo for our social media. We just started ourselves a little Instagram page, the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. As you can see, we got a few followers. We got 300, 299 and a half. So make sure you jump on Instagram and become a part of that fun, along with all the other Gonzo Radio show, Gonzo Radio Network stuff like the Gonzo Radio Show, the podcast, which is coming up at 8 o'clock. So don't go far. Don't leave your computer behind, all 6 or 7. How many people you got watching? I know you can see.
299. Is that correct?
No. 6 would be correct.
Sorry, Brett. The numbers were
6 would be correct.
Yeah, sorry.
That, and let me tell you what, that is extra geeky when you look into the camera like that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You get deep into it and look at it.
Has there been any about the glasses? Anybody's comment?
Well, you're the one in charge of the comments.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I told you that before.
Too.
I'm going to have Lisa teach you how to run this thing. I'm going to get Lisa in here. Lisa will be like, all right, rookie, here's what's going to go on. That's the first thing she's going to do. You watch.
Yeah. My strength is definitely my looks. It's not my presentation.
Thank God you're pretty.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you pretty. Well, once again, in case you need reminding, I of course am Hostimus Maximus, Big Daddy Gonzimus, and of course seated across from me and getting ready to take us through the wonderful world. This is where the analyst part really comes in. The introduction to the wonderful world of fantasy gaming, daily fantasy gaming. Wait, I've even got a graphic for that. Boom, DraftKings, FanDuels, that stuff. For those of you out there uninitiated in such things, or that for those of you that are interested in such things. And the Maz has some info for us here. Basically, the basics. Right, you're gonna take us. You're gonna start off from the ground floor and take us through the basics of the fundamentals.
Very rudimentary explanations on how to get started. I'm sure you guys have seen the commercials and stuff all over TV. All of us at one point or another, I'm hoping, have been involved or know somebody that's been involved in fantasy sports. Most of it football, but fantasy sports itself, the industry is growing exponentially, and it's all the sports. It's basketball, it's baseball, those are my two favorite. But anyway, it's a fun industry. It's fun to be involved with. You don't need a lot of money if it's something you just want to do just to have a little fun on the weekends with your friends. It can be exclusive to just you and your friends, or you can get involved in large field tournaments with other people. So I'm sure you've been introduced to some of this DraftKings stuff, haven't you, Gonzo?
I'm so mediocre at it. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it's not something for most to build a bankroll on, to build your living wealth on and sail off into the sunset. But here's some advice on at least getting started on opening an account. My suggestion, obviously, is
take notes.
Establish your bankroll. Guys, please, and women, don't mortgage the house to open up your DraftKings account. Start with something you can handle. My suggestion, $50, just a taste. $50. That's all you get started with. So get yourself a bankroll, make a deposit, get into one of these companies. They're probably listening right now. You're welcome. $50 gets you started. Here's another thing I suggest you do. Once you guys got your bankroll established, one of the keys is managing that bankroll. Just like in life, you manage your expenses and your finances and all. No different here. So I suggest the numbers that I throw out there are
look up at the camera.
5 and 10%. That's probably your allocations per night.
Okay.
So again, $50 bankroll. Maybe your first night you take $5, you give it a shot. There are many ways at that point. Once you can put your $5 in tournaments, 50-50s, double ups, keep it simple. Cash games, 50-50s. Those are basically lining up with your best friend.
Now, slow down a little bit. Slow down. You talk about the 50-50s.
50-50s and cash games.
Okay, let's explain to the nice people, especially those of you that are really curious about it. Let's explain to the nice people what the difference between a 50-50 and, let's say, a double up, or what the different types of games are.
They're the most basic of games to play. And when I mean basic, I don't mean that they're basic people playing. It's just the beginners. And what it is essentially is that a double up is essentially if you invest $5 into a tournament, your return is going to be $10. The advantage and the disadvantage of that are such. If you have 50 people playing, you only have to finish in the top half. So,
right, and there are variable amounts of people playing.
Sure, there are many size fields from 10 to 20 to just you and a friend. You can basically go head to head.
Yeah, I've played some head-to-heads.
Yeah.
I've won some
Well,
head-to-heads.
no, I'm talking fantasy.
Oh, fantasy. Oh,
Yeah.
fantasy sports.
Fantasy sports, yeah.
That's a different kind of head-to-head.
Let's stay on track here. So, okay, back to fantasy sports.
NSFW.
Okay, so double ups, 50-50s, exactly. You're beating the person next to you. It's a good way to get introduced into the fantasy world, whatever sport you decided to play. Now, right now, basketball seems to be the going sport. There's some hockey and some other sports you can get involved with, like NASCAR. But my specialty, hopefully in the next couple of weeks and forward, you'll be able to see is going to be basketball. So it's going to be my privilege to bring you guys at some point, once we get a little taste of this, some basketball advice so that once you guys get your accounts started, that we can somewhat be profitable.
Now, as these accounts, all right, so you're going to split up your money. You're going to split it up amongst various low-level games and various games that are going to be easier and give you better odds to win on a regular basis.
Exactly. Now, it may not represent that way against the competition because this is a growing industry and a lot of guys that are involved, there's guys and gals, are very good. So denominations don't suggest necessarily skill level. But that lower denomination will allow you to get your feet wet so that you can get comfortable with, familiarizing yourself with whatever site you choose to go on, obviously whatever sports you choose to be involved with, and whatever you find your comfort levels to be.
Right. And of course, then as you figure that out, what your niche is, which lane you want to be in, then you can figure out your analytics. And then that's where Matt's going to be able to come in. It's where Damaz will be able to come in and he'll be able to tell you how to arrange and read your analytics.
There's lots of guys out there and lots of successful people doing fantasy sports. My suggestion would be to link on to some of these people. Follow what it is that they do. Don't be afraid to follow in somebody's footsteps that has some experience in this. I'm going to be able to offer you that too. And this is going to be our platform to do that.
Well, one thing that I would advise people to do is I would advise people to listen to you, too. Don't listen to those guys. You want to listen to us. You want to listen to Damaz. Damaz is the one that's going to listen to. You've got to be an egomaniac about this, bro.
Gotcha.
He's new.
Yeah, well, you know what it is, too. I'm modest, too. And I'm old school in the sense that, I could sit here first time and tell you I'm going to give you this and give you that. Don't want to, don't need to. Because when the time is right, we'll have the information. I'll have the information for you that once you're serious about fantasy sports, you'll be successful.
Right. Well, we're going to work them step by step through the process of becoming a better daily fantasy sports player, no matter what the sport is, because you'll be able to apply these principles, and they're very basic principles. You'll be able to apply these principles to whichever sport. It's just a matter of the principles, the analytics, and then moving forward.
Can we talk about baseball yet?
No, we haven't talked about baseball yet.
All right, 2 weeks. I think pitchers and catchers report February 11th. I'm going to be really busy.
Why? Which one are you, a pitcher or a catcher?
Used to be a pitcher and never a catcher.
He was close. I almost got the rookie. All right. Well, that's fine. Baseball's going to be fun, but wow, I am stuck on this fly wipe. I really am. I'm loving this. Well, now that we've gone through the daily fantasy thing, how about the daily reality of basketball, of the NBA? They're in full swing right now.
Yeah, a lot going on right now.
A whole lot going on right now,
yeah.
Especially today. Today, the news was broken about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis doesn't want to sign an extension, with probably the intent of going to the LA Lakers.
Early odds out of Vegas have Lakers at even money in order to land Mr. Davis.
I just want to know who's going to stop the evil empire. Who's going to stop the New England Patriots of basketball. That's what I want to know.
Well, earlier this year, there's been noise in that locker room. Durant, Draymond Green. You're seeing a lot of these guys miss games here and there. We don't always get what goes on verbatim. You can pick up little tidbits from some of the beat reporters and such, but for the most part, if you read between the lines, there's some discomfort in that locker room there in Golden State.
Discord.
Yes, one of those. So,
well, then I would have to ask you to speculate on where would past this season, next year, what would be a logical landing spot for a guy like Durant.
I think it all depends on what happens this year, honestly. I think it's tough to look out unless you've got little tidbits of information like you got today about Davis. And you can go back and you can paint some of the, you can paint the picture about how earlier in the season before it started that he joined LeBron James's team. And so that was
his management team.
His management team, correct. And that was step one. Step two now is making the announcement in front of his fans that, hey, I'm out. He says, thank you, and it's been a great ride, but it's time for me to make a better life for myself. So Lakers, here we come, my opinion.
It's time to go get some jewelry.
Yeah, it's time to go get some
As
jewelry.
Primetime used to say, time to go get some jewelry.
Time to get some jewelry for those fingers. So
Yeah, those big, long, gigantic fingers.
Well, that's a different topic too. So
More NSFW.
yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know. I think we've skimmed over everything. Have we missed anything yet? I mean,
Again, thanks for the opportunity. I'm ready to go. Ready to share some love and some insight. And same time next week. Next week, we're going to take it a step further. And we're going to actually start getting into the meat and potatoes of fantasy sports. In particular, basketball right now. Because like I said, that's what's in full swing. But baseball is right around the corner.
yeah, and we'll also have another co-host in here, a young lady by the name of Rachel. We all know that Rachel, our mutual friend Rachel, is very knowledgeable about baseball. She's a bit of a baseball fanatic, so we may bring her in for the pitchers and catchers episode if we can ever get her away on a Monday night. Yeah. So we'll try though. But okay, so yeah, it's just the beginning, folks. We're just getting started. I mean, a couple of things we're going to do. We're going to try to get you to look at the camera more often when you're talking.
Yeah, I'm here.
You know, with your pretty brown eyes.
Yeah.
You need to make eye contact with
what I'm doing is just presenting all the angles. I just want to give them a chance to see every part of me. So, yeah.
Including the top of your head.
Including the top of my head, which most people don't get to see on a regular basis. I'm actually very tall.
Yeah,
exactly. But I'm for everyone. I'm sharing.
It's a very earnest look you got there.
Sure.
That's nice. I'm for everybody. Any shout outs you want to give? You a shout out to the wife? Shout out to the
Diana's home watching this, hopefully, and she's already sent me 14
Who's in the
texts.
chat room, by the way? You once again, you're new to this. Who's in the chat room? We're going to say goodbye to them.
Don't we have somebody that can monitor this stuff?
That's going to be your job.
I'm just supposed to sit here and talk. Chris Turner's here. Hi, Chris.
Oh, Chris Turner, who, by the way, is probably going to end up being our hockey correspondent, our hockey reporter.
Hey, Chris.
He's pretty much for the Gonzo Radio Show on the on the Facebooks. He is definitely our hockey specialist. Big Panthers fan, big University of Miami hockey. He's just a big hockey fan. So yes, Chris. We'll probably have you pull together a hockey report here, a weekly hockey report, and you send me the video, and I'll edit it down and stick it in there.
Hockey's a big fantasy daily draw as well.
Huge, right?
Any aspect in fantasy right now. If anybody is truly interested in the fantasy aspect of this, go and look at some of the numbers and see how fast the industry is growing. And it's not just the football, and it's not just the sports itself. There's so many sublets in the industry.
Oh yeah, no, so I totally get it. Believe me, I totally understand it. As a matter of fact, we're probably going to open up a subset of this show and probably call it Gonzo Fantasy Sports, especially since I've already gotten it incorporated.
Nice.
But on behalf of myself and Maz,
thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm trying to find our end logo so that I can gracefully GTFO. We will catch you here next week. You'll be here next week?
Be here next week.
Good. I'm glad we'll be here next week. 7 p.m., another busy-ass Monday. My Mondays are getting so busy. But stay tuned in about 31 minutes at the top of the hour, the Gonzo Radio Show, the live variety comedy live streaming lunacy that has been going on for years now. The flagship show will be coming at you here on the Gonzo Radio Network. I'm Big Daddy Gonzo. That's the Maz. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.